Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, my latest AQ test, courtesy of my husband, arrived in this, defined as the destroyer of future plans, carpets, couches, yards, and socks. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Toluca. He arrived in my home on Friday, April 13th, 2012. 4 weeks, 5 days old. The dominant wolf dog of his pack. And this is where it all began. Round 1. AQ versus Toluca the Terrible. This is the formula used to test your AQ. But the only thing this equation was helping me do at the time was to plan and execute the death of my husband, using my IQ, intelligent quotient, to plan, plus my EQ, my emotional quotient, my violent attack, multiplied by my WQ, my will quotient, the pure drive a person has within, all to equal my AQ, having the only definition I could think of at the time was my assassination quotient. I will be the only person to feed Toluca. He must see me as his source of survival. I am his teacher. For the next 6 months, I will bleed every day, scarred for life, while I train him. Every time he gathers the courage to stalk and attack, he will come and fight me to see if he's moved up in the pack hierarchy. And every time, I must win. He will follow me everywhere I go, but I will never play with him. I am his teacher, and I am the dominant female of the pack. His greatest concern is gaining the favor of the alpha male, my husband. He even falls asleep while watching a movie, just like my husband. It's been about 3 years now since that fateful day in April, and my husband's still alive. I now have a 6-foot-high fence enclosing 3/4 of an acre, crushed rock where grass lawn used to be, very few visitors. I sat back and I thought about that definition of AQ. How well one deals with adversity and his or her ability to triumph over it, because I wasn't feeling very triumphant. Sure, I have survived the past 3 years, but triumphantly? I think not. I'd grown to love this animal, but I'd also become very bitter in the process. I was still held on to every bit of resentment I felt towards my husband as I did the day he brought him home. Actually, I didn't even have a home anymore. I had a house where everyone tiptoed around me, except him, allowing me to continue, how the saying goes, nurse my wrath to keep it warm. What was becoming painfully clear to me was that any one person's level of AQ was not dependent on merely surviving. Actually, the word survive doesn't show up anywhere on the test. Without even realizing it, he snuck up. With the stealth and the cunning you will only find in the wolf, to teach me one of the most valuable lessons in my life to date. Surviving is not triumphing. To survive is one of our most basic primal instincts. To survive, we outlive, outlast, hang on, hold on, continue to exist, breathe. This is not the same as triumphing. To triumph, we celebrate over success. We rejoice over victory. We flourish. We thrive. You must choose to triumph. Life doesn't offer it up as an instinct. No. Life throws you a Toluca, or a job you hate, or a divorce you didn't see coming, or health problems, yours or someone you love. And life says, here, let me introduce you to your new teacher, and let's see how well you do on the test. Do you choose to survive it, or do you choose to triumph over it? some very wise words I read just lately. The secret to a successful life is to fall down 7 times and get up 8. You can survive lying down on the ground, fallen. But to triumph, you need to get up, dust yourself off, and move on. So the next time life throws you a Toluca, don't just run on instincts and survive, lying down on the ground. No! Choose to stand up and do your test. Choose to make your test, no matter what it is, your teacher in triumphing over adversity.